Pisces, I hope you're all doing well. So I got called to use two decks that are a little strange in their imagery, but Spirit was very clear that I should be using these decks. I kind of had to go on a hunt to find this one, which is interesting because I thought I knew where it was. So maybe something's going to shift in your environment and you won't be able to really understand what happened, I'm getting. Okay, let's get two oracle cards here to check on your energy. Let's see what's supporting you at this time and what your challenge is. Okay, what's the support here, Spirit Guides, for Pisces? The self. Beautiful. So trust yourself in whatever's happening right now. You have the answers inside of you. Okay, I feel like whatever you're intuitively thinking about in relationship to your situation, you really do need to pay attention to that. Your intuition is on point. Okay, and what is the challenge for Pisces, the Pisces collective? What? Oh, I'm seeing the shadow. Interesting. Okay. The mask, which is pretty much the shadow as well. Okay, that's interesting. I probably lost it now. Oh, here. Because look, the shadow wanted to come out with the destroyer and I caught it. And what came out instead is the mask. But look at this card. It's like a combination here of these two. So the shadow speaks about the unconscious, the parts of us that are heavily embedded in the ego. It's also parts of us that are wounded and maybe we're not in touch with yet. And sometimes those parts of us can be the places from which we act when we're upset or when we're desiring something. Okay, so if we're not familiar with our own shadow, our own subconscious, our own wounds, and so forth, then there is a high likelihood that we might be acting from those places, and those places oftentimes don't really serve us. They don't serve our higher purpose. So for example, we may lash out at someone or we may project our feelings. Now, I'm not saying you're necessarily doing this right now. I mean, after all, the card didn't come out. But with the mask, I am seeing that maybe this is somebody else's energy that you're close to, so take it how it resonates. This is a general reading, so it might not even be for you. So if you don't feel like it is, then you don't need to listen to it, right? Free will. But with the mask here, I do feel like there's something that your shadow self is either doing or wants to tell you about. And for some reason, you can't see that. Now, the shadow can also tell us really important, it can give us really important information. So what do I mean by that? Sometimes we connect with people in our life, same types of people over and over again. We're like, why am I attracting those types of friends? Why am I attracting those types of partners? That's your shadow getting you to engage with or be, attracted to in some way, some person who holds those qualities that you need to examine for some reason or another. Maybe you need to understand maybe you have a highly optimistic perspective of the world and you need a more I'm hearing honest perspective of the evils of the world. So your shadow self knows it exists out there. So it will get you to engage with people who hold those qualities so you can learn those lessons and, have a better understanding, more holistic perspective of what's going on here on earth, I'm hearing. And this is all for your soul ascension. Other times the shadow can get us to engage with people so that we can see qualities in ourself that we don't want to see or we're not able to see until we engage with someone who brings those qualities out of us, like maybe a wounded, sad part of us, part that's easily triggered, so on and so forth. Whew, Pisces. So we're going there. But your support is the self. So I feel like Maybe you're teaching somebody this yourself. Maybe you've already mastered your shadow side and your shadow self. Because with the mask, I am seeing an integration here between the self and the shadow. And what that means is that you're aware of when your shadow's acting, what it wants, when it's tricking you, and so you can use that energy, integrate it into yourself as more knowledge about how to operate in the world. That it can become a conscious source of protection for you. So, for example, you can call on your shadow when you need to confront someone who has a strong shadow. Do you know what I mean? I feel like this is going like so super psychological here. What is up with this, Pisces? And then these strange cards here that Spirit wants me to use. 7 of Cups. There's some confusion here, perhaps, about who you are now or who you're becoming. You might find that you don't quite recognize yourself, or there's new parts of yourself you're just beginning to see. Let's get into your message and see what Spirit has to say to you. I feel like you can trust yourself. Maybe you need to use your shadow a little bit more. Use your shadow a little bit more. Also, when we know the kind of darker aspects of ourselves, maybe the parts of us that are capable of lying, capable of manipulating, or capable of twisting things, when we're aware of how we do that and how we can do that, it's also really obvious when other people are doing it because you can recognize it, because you see something in yourself. Now, it doesn't mean you're a manipulative person. You're just self-aware of how that can occur. And so then when you meet someone who's manipulative, you can see it in action, right? Because you can recognize it. You can never really see something you don't recognize, right? So you have to be able to recognize it to see it. I'm hearing, and that recognition starts with self. Oh, Pisces, this is like, where are we? What's going on here in your journey? I feel like this is intense here for you. But then these cards. Okay. Let's get 6 cards out here, Spirit guides, for Pisces. The Star over the Self. Beautiful. 3 of Swords. Okay. How are you handling things in your life that hurt? How's that going? What's the process like for you? Is there something changing there? Is it serving you? And it can serve you if you're, for example, being melancholy, being upset, having a dark night of the soul can ultimately serve you. It's not to say to, put yourself there if you don't feel like you're there. But if you are there, there is purpose in that feeling. 10 of Cups. A better understanding of happiness. We can't really know and feel like we're in the 10 of Cups if we don't know what the 10 of Swords is all about. Do you know what I mean? I'm hearing rite of passage. And I'm hearing tracking, something with Trey, like Tray, Trevor maybe, but something about tracking your life history and all the things you've been through is important for you. Yeah, 7 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles. Okay, let's see what the outside energy is. For some of you, the Sun in reverse, and not everything I say will resonate for everyone, but I feel like if you're still here, there's a good chance. Now, for some of you, you're getting counseling or help or therapy, or you're seeking out, I'm hearing mediums, okay, psychics or spiritual teachers to help you kind of go through this process that you're going through, or maybe elevate you to the next stage in the game. But it's not really working. Something isn't really healing you in the way that you hoped it would, or the way that somebody told you they could help you. And that's why the support here for you is the self, because it's like you're more powerful than the person you're seeking guidance from. And if you're not seeking guidance from anyone, then I feel like there is someone outside of you who has a lot of advice to give you, wants to tell you a lot about how you can love yourself. And maybe this is just things you're reading or watching, or maybe it's a friend of yours. But it's like they have a lot to say about how you could do something to feel better or to progress in your life. Maybe this is career related, whatever it is. But it's not helpful. There's something about this energy that's not guided. I'm actually feeling like with the Queen of Cups here, see how she's squeezing something into this cup, and this is the outside energy. It feels like, and because we're talking about the shadow, it feels like someone's projecting onto you, Pisces. So it's like their story, their feelings, their shadow that they haven't integrated, that they're unaware of, they're projecting it onto you and kind of interpreting your story using their traumas. So be mindful of that. Perhaps you're already aware, and it's kind of, I'm hearing a head scratcher. You're kind of like, huh? I think you're talking about you and not me. But they want to take you somewhere on a path. What? Queen of Pentacles. This is interesting. So I'm saying, where does this person want to take you? And I get the Queen of Pentacles, and look, it's a woman looking into this black mirror. I'm hearing scrying. Okay, so it could be like this person wants you to actually teach them something, and they don't even know it. See, this is how psychology and the subconscious is so tricky to work with. Those who try to offer us advice, sometimes, not always, are the ones seeking advice themselves. So they'll project, I'm hearing their fantasy, their story, their traumas, their wounds onto you in hopes that you can resolve it for them. And I feel like this is very subconscious, not something someone's aware of. See, it's like Four of Swords. They don't have to do any of the work. You do it for them. Pisces. Maybe you're a counselor, or maybe this has something to do with your friend. I don't know. Okay, let's see what this deck wants to say on top of this. I'm going to do an extended, and we'll Divine Mother, and we'll see what's going on. Could be talking about a mother here as well. It's interesting. Protection, but I saw projection. And then I'm reading the side of the box, and it says, and the shadows flee away. A neat reading, Pisces. The other thing I was coming to mind is tarot itself, and how tarot readings can, if the reader is not doing shadow work, then the readings can be projections of the reader onto their viewership. Good intentions, but unknowingly projecting, right? So it's important, if you are a light worker, I'm hearing that you do shadow work. Be groovy or leave, man. Yeah, it's like get into the groove of shadow work. Protection. It actually protects you when you do your shadow work, because the chances of somebody triggering you or hurting you psychologically, emotionally, are way down when you're familiar with your shadow. Okay? So shadow work involves looking at those wounds, those core wounds, those childhood wounds, really taking accountability and responsibility for the ways in which you have acted, I'm hearing, as an unsavory character throughout your life, through different parts. And we all have dark or light, I said, interesting, dark and light. And as I said that, or, I was thinking about how the brighter your light, the darker your shadow. So those who shine so bright, and they're all about positivity and blah, blah, you can expect a very dark shadow that maybe that person's not even aware of, okay? what you want is a balance between dark and light. Integration, right? Okay. Current energy, the star. Beautiful. You are healing something here. And I feel like it's cosmically guided. And I'm hearing you have wisdom under control. You could be, your shadow work or your progress with your shadow work could be seen by many. Life is beautiful. Life is meaningful. Amazing. So you've opened a new chapter, and maybe this reading is just a reminder for you, a way to articulate to yourself what's actually gone on, how far you've come. Maybe you're explaining this to somebody here. Again, be groovy or leave, man. I feel like you don't have time for people who are so unaware of what's going on with them. You know, when you come across people and they get super triggered for no reason, like you'll say something like, so-and-so wants to call you, and, you know, say I'm doing a reading, I'll be like, someone from the past wants to call you, and it looks like, you know, you miss this person. And like 5 seconds before, I say that this reading is not going to be for everyone. So if it doesn't resonate, don't take it. And then you'll have someone in the comments like, how dare you? I'm not gonna call him. I don't care about him, etc. It's like, you know, that's their shadow being triggered. Okay. I don't know exactly what's going on there, but I know that there's no reason to act like that and get upset, you know? And it doesn't matter really for me, but it's more about the reactivity that person feels must be unpleasant for them. And there was no need to feel like that. So when you do shadow work and you understand what's your story and what's not your story, and why you're triggered and when you're triggered, maybe you do get upset at that, but then you say, whoa, why am I getting upset about that? Why does that hit me so hard there that I want to react like that? You know, that's all protection for you when you have that understanding of self. And I feel like that's what's going on for you, Pisces. This is big. This is big. Okay. Something unexpected. We have the Three of Swords. Now, I've been thinking about the Three of Swords for some time here, and I'm constantly working with this card, with this archetype depicted in this card, because we have swords, which represent air. It's also a Libra card. So it's about bringing things into balance. And because there's three, I'm seeing it as the shadow, the self, and the mask. And we can think of the mask as kind of like the persona, the personality we put on in the world, which is necessary. We can't be walking around without a persona. You know, we need that to survive in our world, the world we have right now that we're in. So I'm seeing this as actually an integration. I am the Three of Swords. What hurt you once has now become the valve, I'm hearing, of your power. Like your wounded heart is beating out your protection. I'm hearing your lifeline, your protection. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can articulate this. Well, let's get a card here. Your broken heart, your wounded heart, is now the source of your empowerment. Not because it was wounded, but because you understand how it was wounded exactly, and why it was wounded, and what you can do now with those wounds. So I'm reading the Three of Swords as an unexpected understanding of how far you've come and how you can use that pain now to transform something. Swords represent the mind and communication. So this is all about you being able to think through and communicate the pain that you've been through. All right, Spirit, let's see. We have Storm and Fury. Tag you're it. I love this. Body scan underneath. Okay, so you've been through some shit here, Storm and Fury. A lot's happened. And you know, depending on where you are in your lifespan, things are probably going to happen again. You know, a lot of things are unpredictable. Even if we live the most chill life in all ways we can, there's natural disasters, things can happen, you know? So storms and furies are part of the package here. And I feel with like tag you're it, this is, for me, this is about understanding what is your storm and what is someone else's storm and fury, right? You don't have to take someone else's emotions on as your own, or you don't even need to take it personal. Just because someone's acting some way towards you doesn't mean it's about you. It could be, but in this reading, it's saying it's not about you. It's something that that person has to work through or understand about themselves. So all that junk I'm hearing that you took in as something, a criticism of you or a rejection towards you, is now not going to bother you. It's like you're pushing it back out and you're throwing it back to where it belongs, that energy. Tag, you're it. That's really cool. I hope this reading is coming out the way that I'm feeling it, seeing it. Okay, what's ending? Two of Pentacles. I feel like this is you actually asking for help. You could have felt, for some, crucified, I'm hearing. It sounds dramatic, but it's like maybe in a public setting or something to do with other people, like some kind of humiliation here. It doesn't have to be recent, but I'm feeling it. And you asked for help. You asked Spirit for help. And I feel like you were waiting for some time for that help to come in. And I'm getting, it was you all along who was going to help you. Spirit's always there, but you needed to do this for yourself here so that you would know that life is beautiful, life is meaningful. And that's the message here, really, in the whole reading for you, is all of this kind of stuff, junk you went through. You're coming out the other side. You're already there. I feel like I can't ignore this message here. I feel like something's coming in. We'll check on that, what that is. But what's ending is the feeling like you need help. Okay, and this outside energy, maybe you're going to stop going to them, talking to them, taking in their advice as something that's helpful for you. I feel like this person has a completely different life experience from you. Therefore, they don't really understand you. There needs to be, this is my personal opinion, there needs to be some commonality between someone who's giving the advice and someone who's receiving it. They need to be somewhat on the same timeline, at least as I feel it. You know, I mean, I wouldn't be taking advice from somebody about how to heal from, let's say, I don't know, an abusive relationship if it wasn't something that the person had experienced firsthand, either in their family unit or them themselves. You know, I feel like they need to process that in order to help someone else. That's just, there's lots of different, I mean, other people could argue and say, no, you could be trained in it. But there's nothing like going through the experience yourself to really know what it feels like and what it's all about, right? So maybe that's relevant to you. Has the person you're listening to or who's trying to help guide you, are they on the same timeline? Kill your darlings. What's this card about? Do I even have the book in here? Let's take a look. I'm seeing that message here again. Kill your darlings. I can't quite remember. Okay, right here. There is bravery in breaking your own heart. 3 of Swords. And now is the time to be brave. In writing, darlings are the most loved and therefore most overused phrases by writers. In life, they are habits, addictions, laurels, and comforts. To avoid becoming boring and predictable, kill a darling. Doing so will invariably lead to a fresher source of inspiration. So yeah, I feel like you're listening to somebody give you advice that is not like, it's something you're comfortable maybe hearing, but it's not helping you. Maybe this person has helped you for some time, but it's time to go to the next step. So that's ending here. Someone else also who's trying to help you is stuck in their comfort zone. What's beginning? 10 of Cups. This is amazing. Okay. Tell me more. They know not what they do. You're realizing that the actions of other people in the world at large, and also the people who have hurt you, maybe been malicious towards you, really don't understand what they're doing. They really don't understand that they're sabotaging their own ascension process, that they're not going to reach their higher state of consciousness, you know? And they don't really realize that they're wounded. They're not able to even acknowledge that they have a shadow. This is what I'm feeling. Okay? They're wearing a mask and they don't even know it. See, it's very easy to, when you're integrating your shadow, to know what your persona really is and what it looks like. And it can change with different people. And you have an awareness of like, okay, I'm like this in this setting, and that's intentional, and this is the reason why, etc., etc., and that's fine, right? But other people don't even realize they're putting on that persona. And I feel like you understand that now, that they really don't know what they're doing. Whatever they're trying to do to you, they're only doing to themselves. And this is bringing you closer, if not already here, to your 10 of Cups. I'm hearing to your psychic space of happiness, which you're right. The 10 of Cups is your card, Pisces. Let's not forget that. 10 of Cups, 9 of Cups, 8 of Cups. You walk away, you find individual happiness, and then you come to the culmination of happiness with others. Those are your cards in the minor arcana. Like, how amazing. Okay, so think about that. These are the energies that are natural to you, that are within you, and that you rule over. Once you get a handle on the situation, really psychologically, not just intuitively, but psychologically, I feel everything kind of just breaks apart. The mess kind of breaks apart, and you're able to be happy. I feel like you've had to watch somebody kind of self-destruct or do things that were not for their good. And I feel like you actually have some empathy or compassion for that person, or maybe that's something you want to think about. Does that fit in for you? Compassion, empathy for these people who know not what they do. And now I'm like hearing something, I could give a shit about them. That's a trigger point, right? Cool, you could really not give a shit, but you know that feeling like, I really don't care, but like you get worked up about that response. That's a trigger. That's coming from the shadow. Okay. Your advice, Eight of Pentacles here. Keep working, keep going. Look at all these like places in the unconscious you're going to. I feel like this is going down into the unconscious. You're discovering new things here about yourself, about others. It's a really amazing place to be. And it's not like we're ever done working on the shadow. We always are. Okay, so from my own personal experience though, shadow work has made my understanding of relationships and the world so much deeper and so much more bearable, really. Okay. Until all are free, none are free. That's what you're working on. So many of you are spiritual healers yourself, okay, in whatever way that is. It doesn't have to be like Reiki. I'm hearing like, spiritual guru type stuff. It could be that you're a nurse, or it could be that you're a teacher, or it could be that you're a gardener, or it could be that, I don't know, you're a home service, you help people in their homes, whatever, personal care workers or whatever they're called. But it's like you help in some way or another. You help people and you heal people. And I feel like this is part of your path, part of your mission. Certainly, if you're still in this reading, you're quite psychologically equipped to even entertain these ideas, okay? And I feel, maybe that sounded a little pompous, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of people aren't going to listen to this whole reading. That's okay. But the work you're doing, Spirit wants you to keep going. And remember that people don't really know where they're at. They don't really know what they're doing. They don't know the places that they're acting from. A lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people. And so I feel like you can continue helping and showing the way. But remember, never help to your detriment, you know. Only give as much as you have energy to give. You're a very, very giving sign, Pisces. So be careful of that. Okay, what you can manifest in the next 3 months, we have the 7 of Pentacles here. And I feel like even though this is going backwards from the 8 of Pentacles, now we're finally beginning to see things come out of these holes that you dug. So you're doing some exploring here, trying to figure out the answers, doing some work on yourself or helping others do work on themselves. And you know, this could even happen in a relationship. As you work on yourself, you begin to teach your partner, even in subtle ways. It doesn't have to be overtly, but they see a shift in you and they begin to shift themselves. Could be something like that as well, right? And children, you know, you can apply this in so many ways. But anyways, you're finally beginning to see what's in those holes. It's coming out for you to observe. All the feelings that you have that you've tucked away, all the memories that maybe you haven't wanted to look at, traumas, situations, wounds, etc., the celebrations, the good things about yourself that you don't acknowledge enough, right? When was the last time you really gave yourself a pat on the back? Pisces, I feel like you need to do that because I'm hearing, I feel like this is your guides. You're exquisite. Okay. So let's pull one more card and then we're going to go into the extended, and I'm going to go more into this, where are we going to go? We have blood sacrifice. Is this where we're going to go? No, I feel like this is getting you to think about what you've sacrificed in your life here. And I feel like you're going to realize in the next 3 months that the sacrifices that you made I'm seeing the Hangman, which is a card of sacrifice. So the tree that you hung from, metaphorically, as the Hangman, is now beginning to bear the fruits that you can eat from. Cool. It was not all for nothing. Okay, so Pisces, let's go into the extended. Let's see. Oh yeah, we wanted to talk about what this message is. I'm hearing juicy. A juicy message. What's the message coming in for Pisces? The devil. Juicy. Okay, something about a shadow. Death we have. Don't you love this card? It's just nothing. Death. The devil and the death. The King of Wands here. Okay, well, we're going to need just a little bit more. For the Pisces who are not coming to the extended, what do you want to say about this? The King of Wands could be in fire sign you're dealing with. Doesn't have to be, or it could be the fire aspects in your chart. Maybe those are the elements that are in the shadow. You might want to think about that. This is somebody here, I feel like, who's very much operating from the shadow space. And 7 of Swords. Two of Cups in reverse, somebody that you were connected to, or someone who wants to connect to you. I feel like there's a warning here about this person, which is why we've laid such a huge groundwork on the shadow in this reading. So for those of you who are not coming to the extended, can we get some advice about this person? 9 of Wands, stand your ground. Remember how hard you fought to get to where you are. Keep your boundaries. Queen of Swords in reverse. Give me one more on that. The World in reverse. I feel like I'm seeing this as someone like, like biting their tongue. I feel like this person's going to communicate something with you. And with the world in reverse, it's really like not responding. 8 of Cups, walking away from this situation. This is pretty clear that something shadow is coming in here. I feel like it's another person, but it could represent an aspect of yourself. So take it however it resonates here. Let's go into the extended and explore what this is. Remember that your perspective, Pisces, your perspective, your soul, your spirit is telling you life is beautiful, life is meaningful. Whoever's coming in, I don't feel like they have that view. Don't let them project their view onto you. If you want to go to the extend, the link's in the description box below. Other than that, I love you so much. Thank you for hitting the like button, and thank you for your support with this channel. It really means a lot to me. I'll see you next time.